everyone should have a YZ125. And in this video, I'm going to explain why. I'm SoupMoto, and I make videos riding dirt bikes, motorcycles, on-road, off-road, anything in between. I've been riding since I was 4 years old. So if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. So let's hop right into it. In today's video, I'm going to explain why everyone should have the YZ125 in their arsenal of bikes, and if they don't have a dirt bike, why the YZ125 might be a good option for you. I'm going to break this down into 5 points, so stay tuned to the end of the video to see my overall thoughts on what I think of this bike and why everyone should own it. First off, let's start off with the price, because that's probably going to be a barrier of entry for a lot of people. New, these bikes are going for $72.99 MSRP at 2024, still less than some of the brand new 250 4-strokes and 450 motocross bikes, which is what all the pros ride, but you're still going to get comparable power. And especially if you're not a pro riding at a super high level, that is all usable power. For the price, the bike is very, very capable. That might be prohibitive for some people still, because that's still a very high price point. $72.99 if you don't have a lot of funds to get a dirt bike. But luckily, these 125s are going for sometimes as low as $2,500, maybe even lower depending on the condition, on places like Facebook Marketplace, possibly at your dealership. They might have used models, not as low as $2,500, but much lower than the MSRP of the new models. That leads me to my next point. These 125s are easy to maintain. So there's an abundance of parts. The bikes have been nearly the same since they changed the frame in 2005 to the aluminum frame. And even before then, a lot of the internal components are nearly identical to the brand new 125s nowadays. They're super upgradable, so meaning you could get a 2005 YZ125, you could slap a Restyle plastic kit on it and it will look identical to the 2024 model. Parts are super affordable. You can build a brand new top end if you blow it up, piston and rings, grease all the bearings and stuff for maybe a couple $100. And they're really easy to work on because it's a very simple 2-stroke engine. So all that being said, you could go out on Facebook Marketplace and buy a used YZ125 for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, put a couple $100 into it, and it could be just as good performing as a brand new YZ125. My next point is that they are fun bikes. They're light, they're fast, they're nimble. It's a 2-stroke. You have that awesome 2-stroke sound. And these bikes are just a blast to ride. I always find myself, I have a 4-stroke YZ250F motocross bike as well. And I find myself after riding that thing, it's heavy. The power is sometimes hard to control and hold on to, especially when you're putting laps and laps in on a motocross track or in the woods. And I find myself wanting to hop back on that YZ125. It's just so fun, so light. You can throw it around and you can hold it wide open and let that thing scream. It's so enjoyable to ride. In addition, my next point is that they're versatile bikes. I have mine set up for motocross, but I ride that bike in the woods and it does wonderfully. I've seen people online set 125s up for SoupMoto. They put some street tires on it, and while it might not be 100% ideal for the job, you can do the modifications to get it to do what kind of riding you want to do. Once again, because there's abundance of parts, they're pretty affordable parts depending on what you want to do to it. You could pretty much turn the bike into whatever type of machine you want it to be. My last point is these bikes are good for learning fundamentals. So if you're a newer rider, if you've had some experience on maybe some trail bikes, a TTR 125, a TTR 230, something of that nature, you got the basics down on how to ride, but you want to upgrade, but you're a little intimidated by the 4-stroke race bikes. I mean, those things hit hard. They're hard to control. They're a lot of bike. They're a lot of weight for a new rider. The good thing about the 125 is, since it's that 2-stroke and you have that power band, it really teaches you clutch control, RPM management, keeping that bike in the optimal RPM range for the type of power you need. And it really teaches you to keep your momentum up if you're going to do things like racing motocross. If you're going to ride in the woods, you really need to keep your momentum up to keep that bike in the RPM range where it's delivering the power. Some may say that makes it hard to ride, but honestly, when you ride a 125, you're going to be a better rider on other bikes as well, because it forces you to be in the right gear, be in the right RPM range, all the time. It takes a little bit to learn and get used to, but the same goes for any other bike. It takes a lot to learn and get used to for that first period of time when you're first hopping on the bike. And the 125 is going to teach you those skills that you can take into your other bikes and your other riding disciplines in the future. So those were my 5 points. The bike is an amazing motorcycle. The YZ125 is an amazing motorcycle that you will not grow out of. Even if you have other bikes down the road, you'll find yourself wanting to hop back on the 125. They're so much fun, they're easy to maintain, and they're a low cost, a low barrier of entry to get yourself some really, really awesome riding, racing, trail riding, exploring, whatever you want to do on that thing. It is just a really enjoyable bike. And that's why it is a must-have. Everyone should have a YZ125 in their arsenal. There are other brands that make 125 two-strokes. Older models such as the Hondas, the Suzukis, the Kawasaki's, newer models such as the KTM's, the Austrian bikes. Those are also good options, and if you can find one at a good deal, I say go for it, because that bike is going to be so enjoyable. I go to the Yamaha because, like I said, the bike has been made pretty much the same since 2005, so you have so many parts and they fit on almost all of the models. So upgrading, taking care of it, maintaining it is going to be much easier than some of the other bikes that might be harder to find those parts. Once again, not a deal breaker, but that's why I choose the Yamaha over some of the other bikes. So with that being said, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop me a comment below. Let me know if I left anything out, if I forgot anything, or your opinions on the YZ125. Do you hate it? Do you love it? Let me know. I'd love to hear below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting more videos like this, and I have a bunch of other content as well for you to enjoy. Riding the 125, riding a 2024 YZ250X, giving you my opinions on that, as well as a host of other videos. So join the crew, and I'll see you guys in the next one.